Here's the hourly price chart for AMC Entertainment Holdings Incorporated, stock ticker AMC. Here we can see that we're trading a bit lower here to start the week. We're currently heading right into this $5 mark. Right now we're trading at 501. We're kind of pressuring this $5 level to the downside. This probably has some people concerned. Given the fact that this is kind of starting to set the tone for the week. There are some reasons to be concerned here, and I will point those out. But overall, we'll kind of look at the longer term picture and kind of assess where we stand more broadly. So, currently we are kind of heading lower here after forming highs on July 17, which came in at 571. This was a level that I've been watching here. I've been pointing to this roughly 575 level for quite a while now. And as we can see here, we have now formed a double top in this region. So we sort of have a main top here, kind of a large green candle here, and then another top in this area. And then prices have ultimately failed here. And when I say failed here, what I mostly mean is, we're kind of retracing lower. And we have now broken back through the exponential moving average cluster. So that would be these four lines here. We can kind of zoom in on this a bit just to kind of see where we currently stand here. After this initial price failure at 575, we did start to reverse lower, which is what I was expecting to happen. And now we've broken through all four of these kind of colorful lines here. So that the yellow line is the 20 period exponential moving average. Orange is 50 period, purple line is 100 period, and the blue line is the 200 period exponential moving average. This is the hourly chart, so each candle is 1 hour. So for example, this blue line would be the 200 hour exponential moving average. So as we can see here, the prices have fallen through all of these levels, and we're currently seeing lows of 497. So this has broken through this $5 mark that a lot of people seem to be watching very closely. I tend to not focus on those types of price levels very much. I do think that $5 is a random number. I understand it doesn't really sound like that. It sounds like an even, handle, an even number here to be watching. But I don't see any difference between $5 and $5.29 or something like that. I think all of these numbers are just as equal. As equally possible to be seen. So there is a lot of importance that's being kind of centered on this mark. I don't really think that this is the price level to be watching, and I will explain why in just a moment here. But first, what I want to point out here is the fact that we've got some moving average crossovers that should be noted. So in particular, we've got this yellow line here, which has crossed below both the orange line and the purple line. So what does this mean? It means that the 20-hour exponential moving average has crossed below the 50-hour and 100-hour EMA, exponential moving average. So these are both bearish signals, and they do suggest that negative momentum is starting to build here. In addition to that, we have to look at this indicator reading in the relative strength index. That would be the purple line on the bottom of the chart here. So as we can see here, there was a positive trend that was starting to develop until we sort of failed for the second time at this 575 mark. And now this uptrend has broken. So what this really means is that underlying share price momentum has the trend there has completed itself, and it is now over. So we no longer have that trend momentum to sort of rely on here. But what we really have to understand at this point is that there is no new trend that's developing here. There is a bit of a downtrend here that we can point to, but it's a bit shorter term in nature. So we are starting to see a bit of a downtrend here, but what we have to note here is the fact that we came very close to hitting oversold territory, and now we're starting to sort of bounce out of it. And these moving average crossovers also work for the relative strength index as well. They also work for the indicator reading. So as you can see here, the purple line is the relative strength index, and the yellow line is the moving average of the relative strength index. And it's a little bit small here. I can't really make this much bigger, but as you can see here, the purple line is crossing above the yellow line. So that is a bullish crossover, and it does suggest that We're rolling out of, I don't want to call this oversold territory because we didn't technically get there. We got very close. Um, we're right at around 30 here. I mean, it was just above the 30 mark, and the 30 levels is what determines oversold territory. We were very close to being there. I mean, for all intents and purposes, we're really there. Now we're starting to kind of roll over here, as you can see, and we're also crossing above this yellow line here, the moving average. So this does suggest that this will continue to move higher, and then this will also sort of match share price activity. Changes in the relative strength index can precede share price movements. They can act as sort of a leading indicator. So if we're starting to see the relative strength index move higher, it does suggest that we can also see a rollover here in prices. So that's sort of a positive development here. One other thing that I would want to note here would be the fact that I personally don't find the $5 level to be very important. I understand a lot of people don't agree with that, but the level that I'm really watching here comes in at 490. I've mentioned this in prior videos, but this was a prior area. See, I've got all these kind of there's three blue arrows in this region here. This was sort of the breakout point here. Really the turnaround point. I mean, if we go back farther in the stock's price history, we can see that there was a major downtrend that was developing for this stock. And then what we were really looking for was a turning point here, a reversal point, which could be used to establish new positions. Now we've got all these arrows pointed here for a reason, because this was the expected turnaround point, and as we can see, this is actually what unfolded. We did see a fairly substantial price move higher at this point. So what I was considering to be the breakout point did come in at this 490 level. We saw a couple of tests of resistance, and then we saw a final forceful kind of move to the top side here. Like, these are stronger green candles, and then these lead to even stronger green candles after that. So in my view, this was really the breakout point. We saw prices move above the exponential moving average cluster here. We formed a bit of a double top, and then we kind of forcefully broke through those areas. So prior resistance levels are then expected to start working as support once they're tested later from the top side. So if we start to move lower here, I would expect the stock to start to see some support at this 490 mark. I don't see anything like that here really for the $5 level. So this is the reason I wouldn't really be looking at this $5 mark as being particularly important. I understand it's kind of a psychological number and things like that. But as far as the real chart analysis is concerned, I just don't see any reason to be concerned here unless we see a break below that level. So this is the current market analysis for AMC Entertainment Holdings Incorporated, stock ticker AMC.